7:37. Kathy Helbig is with us. She, of course, part of the Kathy Helbig Group, a team of realtors. She comes in once a week and gives us some helpful hints when buying and selling. Good morning, Kathy Helbig.
Good morning, guys.
Let's talk about home inspections.
Yes.
Well, what do you got?
Well, home inspections are necessary for buyers and just excruciating for sellers typically. It's really important that you find a good home inspector that is looking for the material defects in the house and hazard conditions, because one of the things that is a deal breaker sometimes is an inspector that finds every little bitty thing wrong and is an alarmist. And it freaks the buyer out. So they're actually going to walk away from a really good house, and they're not going to realize this till they inspect the next one, that same inspector might have some of these same items that come up on every single house. A lot of it's maintenance. So a good inspector will break down what a maintenance issue is, what a safety issue is, what a hazard or a defect. So you really need to look at the hazards and the defects more than anything. Big deal breakers for sellers to keep in mind is that enormous list of problems. So if you know up front that you have some peeling paint, or you have some broken window seals, or some plumbing that's leaking, you're better off to go ahead and get those things repaired ahead of time so that their list is smaller. Then they have less that's overwhelming them when they look.
Right.
So it is important to get a jump on those things ahead of time. Also, it's important to disclose. We've had a lot of people walk away from deals, buyers, on listings because the seller didn't put things in their disclosure. So immediately it turns the attitude into a non-trusting relationship.
Right.
And it becomes very adversarial. We've held them together a lot of times, but it's tough.
Not disclosing is a really big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Right. It isn't one of those things where, we're not gonna tell them there was a fire here 4 years ago.
Exactly.
You've got to disclose all that stuff.
And covering up. Don't cover up don't cover up real repair issues with Mickey Mouse fixes. That's another thing. Sometimes non-disclosure just from omission because you didn't think about it, happens sometimes, and that's where we come into play of trying to calm the situation down. Like, there's a question on the disclosure about insurance claims. We had one recently where the seller did not put down that they had claimed a sump pump issue that had happened a couple of years ago because the insurance company denied it. So in the seller's mind, that wasn't a claim,
right,
but it was recorded as a claim. So then the buyer got real suspicious and thought, oh, they're hiding something.
Right. Well, that's certainly understandable, but there are things that are understandable and there are things that are issues.
Right.
So what are some of the deal breakers?
Some of the deal breakers are those, not disclosing.
Okay.
A lot of structural issues, obviously, is a huge deal breaker.
What about like water leakage in the basement? Do you have to disclose that, or?
Yes, there's several questions regarding if your foundation leaks or if you've had repairs. So there's plenty of good waterproofing companies out there that can come and fill some of those cracks, but I suggest you let us take a look at what you're dealing with first before you list your house, because sometimes sellers go crazy with filling every single little bitty stress crack.
Right.
And then a buyer walks into your basement and they see 25 epoxy fills. They think your house is falling apart.
Right.
So it's really important to only fix the ones that require, maybe that are leaking, and then disclose. Windows are a big thing in St. Louis. We're so hot and cold all the time that thermal seals are constantly failing. So if you know that your windows are fogging up, definitely plan on taking care of them for the buyer.
Kelly's are fogging up for different reasons. Kathy Helbig and the KathyHelbigGroup.com. Download the app. It's a great app. KathyHelbigGroup.com. 314-276-SOLD on Facebook, on Twitter, and the app is fantastic. Also online, KathyHelbigGroup.com. Thanks for coming in, Kathy.
Thanks, guys.
741, traffic, weather, sports next, KTRS.